Why was the market value of enslaved people so high? Imagine a world where human lives are valued like commodities, where bodies are bought and sold for profit. That was the reality during the height of the transatlantic slave trade. The market value of enslaved people was incredibly high, and understanding why reveals a lot about early American history and its economic roots. First, enslaved individuals were seen as vital sources of labor, especially on large plantations growing cotton, sugar, and tobacco. These crops were in huge demand both in the United States and around the world. Enslaved people could produce large amounts of these commodities over their lifetimes, making them a profitable investment for slave owners. Their value was based on how much work they could do, minus the costs of feeding, clothing, and sheltering them. The supply of enslaved people was limited and controlled by a complex system involving African traders, European merchants, and American buyers. The transatlantic journey was long, dangerous, and expensive. Ships faced risks like disease outbreaks, storms, and rebellions, which increased the costs of transportation. Because of these dangers, enslaved people became more expensive the closer they were to the Americas. Enslaved people were also considered property, with an expected lifespan of around 30 to 40 years. Their value was calculated based on how much income they could generate during that time. For example, a young healthy male slave might cost several $1,000s in the 1700s, which was a significant amount back then. This made them comparable to land or equipment in terms of investment value. Prices fluctuated depending on age, health, gender, and skills. A skilled enslaved worker, like a blacksmith or a cook, could command a higher price because they could do more specialized work. The overall demand for enslaved labor grew as plantation economies expanded, boosting their market value even more. The transatlantic slave trade was a huge business that generated enormous profits for shipowners, traders, and investors. The forced labor of enslaved people fueled the production of goods that fed into global trade networks. These goods helped finance early industrial growth in Europe and America. The entire system was reinforced by laws and social norms that treated enslaved people as property, making their sale a legal and accepted practice. From the perspective of Black American history, the high market value of enslaved people shows how Black bodies were turned into commodities for economic gain. This system caused immense suffering but also laid the economic groundwork for many aspects of American society. It influenced wealth distribution, social hierarchies, and racial inequalities that continue today. Recognizing this history helps us understand the deep roots of racial disparities and the resilience of Black communities throughout American history.